One of the things that new users of FreeBSD really struggle with is sound. Now, it would be fantastic if out of the box sound worked. Unfortunately, it doesn't. You have to set it up. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't take a huge amount of fiddling with to get it working. So we'll just go through it and I'll show you how I set up sound for my device. Bearing in mind that other devices will have slightly different configuration. Let's get into it and let's go through it and show you how it's done. So as you can see, I'm using XFCE. Let's zoom in one more so you can actually see what I'm doing. So that the end goal is to get to this. I'm going to have a little look at FreeBSD and XFCE4. So there we go, sound working. So let's have a quick look. So we'll just become root because it will make things a bit easier. So let's take a look at what I've done so far. So here's my RC conf. And this is just running XFCE4. So all I've done is loaded sound and SND HDA driver. That's the driver that I need for my particular hardware. So remember, if you've got a different hardware device, you'll need a different driver. That's worth remembering. Now, I can't tell you what driver you need. You'll have to find out yourself, but it's fairly easy to find out. And the quickest and easiest way to do it is to cat device soundstat, and it will tell you what you've got. Now, because I'm playing back through HDMI, I've set my default to the NVIDIA card, but I could just as easily have set it to the ALC 892 for the rear or the front, doesn't matter. But for this, I've got it set for the HDMI. Now, for the rear, that would be where you would plug in a set of speakers, you know, your Logitech speakers or your Cambridge audio, whatever you're using, your green cable, that plugs into the rear. And then you would set it to rear analog, or if you're using your front audio, I'm not sure why you would, maybe it's the only one you've got on your system, you'd plug into that. So that's what I've got. So to change that, it's quite simple. Sys CTL HW SND default underscore unit, and that will tell you which one is your default. So to change that, just put an equals and the one that you want. So 0 is the one that it's on at the moment. If you want it to be on 1, you can do it on 1. If you want it on 4, which is the rear audio in this case, there you go. And if we list it, there's your new default, which will be shown there when you cat your dev soundstat. Now for me, I want it on 0. So we'll go back to that. So once you've got that, you of course need your entries in the rc.conf. Now you can also put these in the bootloader as well, so it's there really early on. I put them there because I was editing that file anyway. And of course you'd have to either reboot or KLD load. Already loaded. Already loaded, so I can't do that. But that's what I've done. So in this environment, which as I said before is XFCE, why? So we know that's working. I also had to install a little applet, which was Pulse Audio volume control. So that would be package install XFCE4 Pulse Audio plugin, and that will give you this, which allows you to set your source. And there's all those outputs. So which one has it set it to? Yeah, the right one. It's an alternative to KDE, GNOME, Cinnamon, all the big desktop. There you go, just to show that. Look at this one and see how we go. There's all the outputs. Okay, so we're logged into our vanilla install of FreeBSD. Let's have a look and see what we need to do. So the first thing we need to do, clearly, shush you, is to actually... There's all the inputs. There isn't any on this because I've got no microphone connected to it. It's connected to my main PC. To be honest with you, that's really about it. There isn't much more that needs to be done. As I say, you either KLD load or reboot, whichever one's your poison. Now I was rebooting anyway, so I rebooted. Oh. So there we go. Short and sweet. So you essentially install the plugin, which is for this XFCE4 Pulse Audio plugin. You load the mixer, the sound. There's my terminal. So you would load sound. Then you would load the driver. And then you set your output. That's it. That's all you need to do. And it just works. Does this work with KDE or GNOME or Cinnamon? I can't attest to that because I haven't tried it. I should do. In fact, let's do that now, shall we? So we are there. Because I don't know if it's going to work. So we'll let this just quickly install KDE. Now I'm not going to try this with all the desktop environments because I'll be here all day. And this will end up being a ridiculously long video. It was supposed to be a nice and short one. So there we go, we're just installing KDE. So let's get rid of you. We don't need you at the moment. We can close you down. There we go. Right, so come out of there. Come out of there. Let's find out. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. There's KDE. Sorry, first thing, yeah. Well, there's all my audio devices, so this is looking good already. We've got the audio applet down here. Let's go to that lovely channel. Interesting. Well, that's strange, but maybe it's on the wrong. Right, so let's. There we go. So actually I want it set to that one. So let's change it then. Okay, so we're logged into our vanilla install of FreeBSD. Let's have a look and see what we need to do. So the first thing we need to do, clearly, is to actually get the stuff installed that we need. So let's do that. So we'll start. We're going to use package install xorg NVIDIA driver config for NVIDIA. There we go. So it does work on KDE as well. That's good to know. There you go. Quite simple. So what did we do? We installed the plugin, which was XFCE4. I can't even remember. Yeah, okay. So it was XFCE4 Pulse Audio plugin. So we did that. Then we loaded sound, and then we loaded SND, HDA, and we rebooted. That was pretty much it, and it worked. And we changed our audio device. But I'll put a list of what I did on the screen now, and you can see what I've done. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I didn't make myself look too stupid and didn't confuse you. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it all over the place. I don't mind you doing that. Subscribe, hit the bell icon and get notifications of when I release a new video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.